my mind has just been everywhere because
we got a son, y'all, that we got to raise in this world. A lot of us got kids we got to raise in this world, and regardless of what your kid looks like or where your kid is raised at, you got to be able to look at this country and say, man, is this really the future that I want for my kid? And I know it ain't what I want for mine. So hence the sign we made that y'all see on the thumbnail. We're protesting so our son doesn't have to. Hopefully that rings true.
so this video is kind of, I guess, hard, heavy on our heart, I guess you can say. We don't have a big platform, but we're starting to build a big platform, hopefully, and we feel like it would be best for us to say something, just to stand up for what we feel is right, and just to have a little discussion on what's going on with everything. Yesterday we got to be a part of history in a way. We marched for, George Floyd in the Houston March.
Prosecute the police! No justice, no peace! Prosecute the police! No peace!
At the end of the video, I will post some footage. I didn't post a lot of footage because I wanted to be in the moment and just see everything and just really take it all in. But if you see in our thumbnail, our poster we made, we're marching so that our son doesn't need to. And I hope one day, once he gets older, that poster stands true.
And it's just interesting because, a lot of people like to shy away from these topics, but anybody that knows me personally or her personally, or a lot of people in our community, this is not something that we can shy away from, because these are the type of conversations we have to have on a daily basis. We're young African Americans. We both, at least at parts of our lives, were raised in poor, low income neighborhoods with lots of crime, and fortunately we're able to raise our son now in a much better neighborhood. But we know that money doesn't always mean that you'll have better interactions with people, because racism, which is what this is all about, doesn't care about what's in your pocket. So yeah, this is just something that we got to talk about, y'all.
And then we have discussions all the time, because although we want the same goal, our perspective of things or how we want to approach things are totally opposite. Like we say all the time, like I'm the Martin Luther King and he's the Malcolm X, because the way I want to approach things is not how he would want to approach things. Like, for instance, like all the rioting and the looting and all that, like I get it, trust me, I get it, and I don't want what I say to take away from the anger and the emotion behind it, because I can't judge other people of how they're doing things. But just for me, I don't see how going out there, burning up cars, burning up buildings, tearing up things, and I don't see how that's gonna make a change. I mean, I definitely get, no justice, no peace, but why does no peace have to mean tearing up things? I mean, I feel like no peace can be our voice. So.
And on the other hand, there are plenty of people that will argue that, African Americans have tried to be as peaceful as possible, in the light of 400 plus years of slavery, segregation, Jim Crow laws, racism, overt and covert forms. And some of the most peaceful men in history have been murdered for being as peaceful as possible. And at this point, it's almost as if the only thing that this country understands, a country that was founded and created by bloodshed and war, many people feel like that's the only thing that they'll understand, is hitting them in their pockets and, showing them that by any means necessary, justice will be had or there'll be consequences for it. So, but I think it's important to think, or to know that people can agree to disagree on certain things. Now, racism is just not something that you can agree to disagree on. There's no excuse for supporting racism in any forms. But on the different ways to eliminate racism, everybody's not gonna have the same views. Everybody's not gonna, want to help or get involved in the same ways. I'm big on protesting, speaking out, supporting black-owned businesses. Some people might find other ways to get involved. But the point is, you got to get involved, regardless of your race, regardless of how you feel, the best way to do it. You got to do something. Silence is violence, as they say.
And I just want to shout out to our city, Houston. I feel like what we were involved in yesterday was just so beautiful to see. Like, all sizes, shapes, and colors were out yesterday, and we came together, and it was so peaceful. Like, I feel like Houston is one of the cities that on the news you really haven't seen all the burning of the buildings, all the trashing of the cars, and things of that nature. So it was really good to see and us all come together and just be a part of history in a way that is making a change, is standing up, is doing something, powerful for our people. And saying that goes into me saying, yes, trying to make sure I say things in the right way, because things can be taken so left field. But although it was other people out there other than black people, yes, they came to march with us. Yes, they post, Black Lives Matters. And that's all good, and I appreciate that, and I love that, and I love that we can come together in that aspect. But it has to go a step further for them. I don't feel like they can just post Black Lives Matter, or march and chant Black Lives Matter and things like that. They have to be about the action as well. I don't think just the posting is enough for me. I was riding in a car the other day, and I heard on the radio they were saying, for those who are not of color, what can you do? And I love that they said that, if you're riding in a car and you see someone a person of color gets pull over with them. You don't have to do anything, just pull over with them, stand out your car so that police officer knows you're there, you're watching, and you're just supporting that person getting pulled over. Or, if you see Karen in the park on her shit, calling the police for a black man doing nothing. Sit there with that black man until that officer gets there to make sure that they know, like, he wasn't doing anything. Karen is really just tripping and really trying to get him, taken down for no reason. So it's really, I need more of the action along with the, the visual, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of people like to do a lot of symbolic stuff. Yeah. And symbolism is good. It's much needed to bring hope and to bring attention to things. But symbolism by itself doesn't make change. Just like prayer by itself doesn't make change. You gotta, regardless of your race, you have to do something about it. One way a lot of people can get involved is politically. Man, people don't understand the politics behind all of this. Behind, George Floyd's death and the death of Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and so many others, too many to name. We have the power to put elected officials in office, district attorneys that, can choose to prosecute or not to prosecute people or officers or other elected officials that do what they know is wrong and corrupt. Judges have a major impact on our criminal justice system. State legislators. It's not always just about voting for president, y'all. We got hundreds of other positions that we can be voting for to make a change. But the point is, we have to do something. Like she said, we were 60,000 deep out there, downtown H-Town. And that's a major thing. Imagine if 60,000 people came together and decided to vote all of the racists out of office. This country would make a drastic change, but gotta do something about it.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing we want to come on here and just let everybody know, it's not just what you do and what you post. It's really standing up and voting, you know, showing support. It's just gonna take a little bit more than the marching and the posting. That's really the big thing for us, I think. Yes, all that's good, and like we said, we marched yesterday. That's a good step, but we have to take it a step further. I feel like the main thing for us right now is we have to get out and vote. We have to. I think that's truly where the change is going to be. That's where our voice needs to be. Because
you can say your voice and your vote don't matter, but you know, at the end of the day, it is regardless of how you feel like we have to make changes. They have to be made from the inside and the outside. So, you know, things have to be done different politically. Things have to be done different economically, socially. But you just have to really, really do something. You know, you have to have really seen these events that's happening in our country and really be affected by it. You know, when we see stuff about George Floyd, we're here in Houston. I know plenty of people that know George Floyd personally. He was a great person in the community. You know what I'm saying? Other people, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, little kids like Tamir Rice, women like Tatiana Jefferson or Sandra Bland. You know, we have so many people who have had such public deaths that at some point this has to hit you. You know, in our society, we kind of get a little desensitized to violence sometimes. You know, we watch movies with this kind of stuff in it. We got video games with this kind of stuff in it, TV shows, you know. So it's easy to kind of overlook stuff. But, you know, you just have to realize that somebody I know could be affected by this. And even if it's somebody you know, the thing is, society itself is not going to change unless the people that are not affected by the things that they see on a daily basis care about it. You might never know somebody that's killed by police brutality, but that doesn't mean that it's not something that you should want in your society, you know? So we just have to, we got to do the right thing, y'all, regardless of what you think about how people are protesting. You know, at the end of the day, it's about the cause of these things. Yeah, you might feel like burning things down or looting or whatever isn't the best way to do it, but what caused these things to happen, you know? And we also have to realize that everybody that's out there protesting is not also looting and destroying property. As a matter of fact, it may be 5% or less of the people that are actually running around destroying things. Because, hell, out of the 60,000 people that we see out there, how many people did we see even attempt to go at a police officer? Or I didn't even see anybody littering. Like it was as peaceful and as calm as it could be. And of course,
I think when we were out there, for what I could see, out of and it was a lot of people, you guys. I saw one person, and he didn't even do anything. It was just he just gave off a little bit of a bad energy for me. But he never, you know, the worst thing I saw him do, or not even see him do, heard him say was "fuck the police," and that's only a bad energy for me because I have a cousin that's in law enforcement, and I don't want people to think that all police are bad police, and that's the only reason that gave me a bad vibe. But that was the only thing that I saw. Like I said earlier, I was so proud of Houston yesterday. It was such a beauty, and I was glad I could be a part of it. So my mind has just been everywhere because
we got a son, y'all, that we got to raise in this world. A lot of us got kids we got to raise in this world, you know, and regardless of what your kid looks like or where your kid is raised at, you got to be able to look at this country and say, man, is this really the future that I want for my kid? And I know it ain't what I want for mine. So hence the sign we made that y'all see on the thumbnail. We're protesting so our son doesn't have to. Hopefully that rings true. I know 40, 50, 60 years ago, our parents, grandparents, great-grandparents were saying the same things. They were out fighting for their rights so we wouldn't have to. And we right back here again. But I tell you what I see on the news is going on in America and how, you know, a lot more people are starting to speak out. I truly feel like we're going to be the last generation that is going to continue to be having to protest just to get basic rights and equality in this country. I hope we the last generation that has to do that, because if not, I can see the next generation really tearing some shit up, and that ain't what we want, obviously. So, we got to get out there, y'all. We got to get involved. We got to make an impact. Me and her both became educators because, we grew up in public schools in the hood, and we wanted to make a difference. So, you just got to make a difference however you best know you can.
And it's just crazy because the last video I posted, the quarantine tag, it was something about nails. And I said, no, I'm not going to go out there. I'm going to wait till the first batch hit and then I'm going to go. But yesterday, I'm around 60,000 people and I just felt the need to be there. Corona wasn't even a thought of mine in that moment, because I feel like it's bigger than that. And Corona is already a beast in itself, but police brutality is so above that and so much bigger than that. I needed to be there and walk with all my brothers and sisters yesterday.
Man, people ain't even worried about COVID no more. Ain't nobody said nothing about Rona. CNN ain't talking about it. Fox News ain't mentioned the Trump tweet about it.
I would say if Houston,
nobody worried about Corona.
if not even just Houston, the whole world, if the counts don't go up, it was some jank, because we were all together yesterday.
Mighty suspicious. It should be about 10,000 new cases in Houston these next couple of days.
But for me, it was worth it just to be there and to stand up for what's right. So
hell yeah.
So again, taking it from us, please go out and vote. It's that time. It's that time of year. And again, this is not even the biggest voting thing that's coming up. We have to vote for our counties like that. But each vote counts. So get out there and vote. Got anything else, babe?
Nope. I think we said it all.
So until next time, it's him and I.
Aquim and I.
Bye.